In this video, I'm going to teach you my exact method on how I split test Facebook ads to quickly launch brand new campaigns and scale them profitably. So without further ado, let's jump into my method. How's it going? My name is Dylan Pondir. I'm the founder of Pondir.com, and in this video, I'm going to teach you my method to split test your Facebook ads, how to use those split tests to build a winning ad combination that'll allow you to quickly launch and scale profitable Facebook ads. My sole purpose with this channel is to teach you how to run profitable Facebook ads. So if you can do me the favor of hitting the like button, subscribing, notifications on, and checking out Pondir.com, it's greatly appreciated. Let's go ahead and hop into my ad account. Here we have one of my ad accounts for a brand I co-founded, and you can see this is the past 5 days worth of data. And we have some new campaigns here that we've launched, and we're scaling really quickly with a really good return on ad spend. One thing that I do want to note is you might be wondering what's the difference between the website purchase return on ad spend and this one here. Basically, I've built a custom attribution system that allows me to raise our tracking for our Facebook ads up to about 90 to 95%. If you're a Pondir member, that course is in Pondir, full breakdown on how to do it. But I just wanted to note, so the difference here is the one on the right-hand side, this one here, is basically if only the Facebook pixel and so forth were doing the tracking. This is the custom attribution setup I built. So that's the difference. That's why you might have a little confusion on what those ROAS mean. So when it comes to building and scaling a new campaign quickly, you need to launch with a winning ad. How do you launch with a winning ad before running a campaign? Well, it comes down to split testing. And quite frankly, you should be split testing everything. Your video, your images, your headlines, your thumbnails, your ad copy. But in this video, I want to focus on what I found to be the most impactful split testing over the past year, which is ad copy. There's something about the copy in an ad that, if done correctly, can greatly reduce your CPM. We've seen up to 50% reductions in our CPM through testing our ad copy, and it'll improve your link click-through rate. So you can see here, in the Pondir dashboard, what you'll see is we have, so this is the past 5 days that I have pulled up in the ad account. So you can see $200 to $300 in spend, really good ROAS, like this day, 330 spent, 3,000 in revenue. And this is actually when we were doing our split testing. So the cool thing about split tests is you can still generate a profit while doing it. After those 3 days of split tests, we take the winning combo and then we launch it in our main campaigns, which you can see we start to scale here. So on the 19th, spent about $3,000 for $8,600 tracked. Our custom attribution tracking is still only about 90 to 95% accurate. And the actual return, according to our Shopify dashboard, was about $10,000 in revenue. So really great ROAS. Before I teach you step-by-step how to actually do the split test in your ad account, I want to show you an example of split tests that we ran and then took the winning combination to launch the campaigns and get the results that I just showed you at the start of this video. So here you can see 3 campaigns: testing thumbnail, copy, and media. So let's hop into this thumbnail one, and what you'll see is I tested quite a few variations of my thumbnail. Ultimately, what we look at is link click-through rate. If you watch the Pondir course, then you know the importance of link click-through rate. And if you haven't, I'll link that YouTube video down in the description. Ultimately, link click-through rate is the quickest way to improve your returns on ad spend, improve your results, and ultimately lower your CPMs. So what we did is, this was the winning thumbnail. We have, I split tested 2 video variations, different scroll stoppers. You can see dramatic improvement on this variation here. And then also with ad copy, I took the best ad copy variation right here. You can see, once again, dramatic improvement. And if we sort, if we come into Pondir and we just do ROAS above 2 over past 7 or so days, and we click, you'll see, boom, there it is. So all of the ones that are green are above a 2 ROAS, and they're all using that winning combination. So this is how we're scaling before actually having to run unprofitable ads. So let me show you how this process is done. So if you want to follow along step by step, go ahead and pull up your ad account, and we'll create a live masterclass on how to split test ad copy. All right, let's go ahead and start building out the split test for your ad account. First, we're going to create a new campaign. So we'll do conversions, we'll hit continue. And typically I like to use this template feature just to quickly name campaigns and stay consistent. But I don't have my new emojis in here yet like this. So I'm just going to copy and paste it from a previous split test. We'll give this a new one. So we'll call this V2. I'm going to put the date in here. So today is March 21st. Okay, so let's hop into our ad set. One of the key factors of split testing for Facebook ads is limiting variability. You want to make sure that everything you're testing is targeting the same audience and is using the same placement. So let's start building this out. I do use an ad set level budget for split testing. If you prefer to use campaign budget optimization, you can set the min and max spend. I found ad set budget just to be simpler for the purpose of for split testing. So go ahead, depending on what your budget is. So let's say that you have a $100 budget for your split test. We're going to be split testing 4 different copy variations here. So that means each ad set would get $25. Next, we need to use a specific audience. If you don't have data, you can use an interest that most correlates to your product or whatever you're advertising. We do have data here. So what I'm going to do is I want to find ad sets that have above, say, a 2.5 return on ad spend. So if we come in here, looks like a lot of our retargeting obviously does. Let's just do 2. Here we go. Okay, so this one has done quite well, and this is our lookalike initiated checkout. So we're going to use that audience here. So I can just take this audience name. Whoops. It was at 3%. Here it is. All right, so I'm going to use the our top audience for this split test, and every ad set's going to be set up the same. If there's specific ages for your product, go ahead and enter that in. For us, it's really above 25. I'm going to turn off detailed targeting. Come down to manual placements. I'm going to uncheck all the feeds and only select the Facebook newsfeed. Uncheck stories. Uncheck. Just remove everything except one placement. Remember, limit variability. Okay, this looks good. I am going to use my template here because it automatically just incorporates it. Actually, for the split test, and since you don't have templates set up, I won't use this. So what I'll do is we'll just call this copy 1. And then just so I know, I'll put 3% lookalike. So copy version 1. Okay, and then what I want to do is I'm going to delete this ad here because what we want is to actually create a baseline. In order to gauge the results of a split test, you need to have a baseline to decide whether it performed or underperformed. So we're going to use our existing ad for that. If you don't have an existing ad, I'll show you what to do here in a second. So go ahead and hit publish. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going into my cold traffic. I'm just going to take my top performing ad, that winning ad combination. So here it is. What was that name? Here's my campaign. So basically, if you have an ad that's been running, you can duplicate that into your split testing campaign. And I'm also going to pause it just so it doesn't start running while we're building it out. So and actually let's rename this to baseline. So basically what we're going to use this first ad set for is to decide whether other ads that we're split testing, other ad copy that we're split testing, outperforms or underperforms the one that we're currently running. If you don't have an existing ad, that's fine. You can just drop in the new ad that you create into this first ad set here. So let's go ahead and duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate it 3 times since we're running 4 ad copy variations. And then what I want to do is I just want to remove baseline. So this is going to be copy v2. Then we'll come here, copy v3. And then finally, copy v4. There we go. All right. And now I'm going to delete the ad that we don't want in here because we want to put new variations in. So I'm going to hold Command. On Windows, I think it's Control. I'm just going to select, hit delete. I'll hit publish. All right. And now I'm going to start creating new variations of ad copy. If you've watched the Pondir course, you've seen how I store my ad sets. So I use this Diamond HQ, which I never run, just basically is where I kind of host my my ads for quick access. So I have that version in here that we're going to use. So let's just go in here. So I'm going to duplicate it. And then I'm going to add it to those three. All right. And if you get confused any part along the way, don't hesitate to leave a comment. I will definitely try to help you out. So let's go ahead and hop back into our V2 testing copy campaign. Okay, so we have our baseline, which has the initial ad that we were running. And now we have these additional 3 variations that I'm going to use for split testing. So we have this one here, copy V2. And what I'm going to do is switch out the copy. So this was the baseline copy. I'm going to delete it. And then I'm going to use my cheat code here, which is Pondir. If you don't have Pondir, you can manually write your copy and input it. But I'm going to use this because it's a lot better copywriter than I am. So upstart epoxy bundles. Boom. Let's see what we get for new copy variations. Okay, looking for a great epoxy kit. Look no further than our best-selling epoxy bundle. Bundle includes, I like that one. Let's try another variation here. All right. I also had some save versions I really liked. I actually really like this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save it to my account and I'm going to hit copy, paste it in. I do want to note it's actually very insane how much small changes in your copy, such as emojis, can influence your results. So since this baseline has emojis, it's more that listicle kind of traditional average Facebook ad style. I'm going to test for copy V2. I'm going to test just more of a paragraph with no emojis, straight to the point, and see how Facebook responds to that. This one might work really well. So I'm going to call this paragraph, call this short form paragraph. Publish. All right. Now let's go ahead and just double check that it published here for us. All right. Now let's go to copy V3. So let's try out a problem solution format. It can be difficult to find the right epoxy for a project. It can be expensive. It's important to get the right type. I do kind of like this last one here. Let me change up the elevator pitch just to kind of have a different angle. It's the perfect time for a new hobby. Upstart's epoxy bundle is now available. Let's see what we get for this. Okay, so this is, I actually like the format of this. So it's a listicle, but it doesn't have emojis. And once again, the listicle is performing well for us, but sometimes just removing emojis can actually really improve results. So let's try this one. With Upstart Epoxy Bundle, you'll get everything you need to start a new epoxy. It includes, we'll do, since we have multiple variations, it does have glove and goggles. I don't know if I want to include those though, because they're not a huge selling point. Let's do, and then I'm also going to add a call to action. All right, save that, copy. Okay, cool. So this one will work. So we're going to hit publish on this. Copy V4. All right, so that's in there. Now let's go ahead and hop into this copy V4 ad set. And this will be the last ad that we create to split test. For this, I already have a listicle. This last one's actually good. Looking for a new hobby. Cause there's a lot of people, it's springtime coming around. People are looking to do things outdoors and just be a little more creative. So looking for new hobby, Upstart's Epoxy Bundle is now available. This bundle includes everything you need to get started with, including a resin, hardener, and a mixer. Plus, we're offering, I'm going to add in free mica colors and cool. All right, this is a good one. So we'll paste that in. Boom. There we go. So now let's go ahead and go back to our campaigns and turn this on. And now, after about 24 hours, each ad set should spend that $25, and we'll be able to see our results. And you know what I just realized I didn't do was I did not use a lower objective. So let me just check what objectives here. Okay, so depending on your budget, I'm going to give you a couple options. If you have a high budget, and if you want to spend, let's say, $200 on your split test, feel free to use the purchase objective. But I know a lot of you are just launching new campaigns. You don't have a lot of budget. And so you do have the ability to lower the objective to something like add to cart. It's going to cost less to get more impressions. And you are still going to be able to gauge the performance in regards to link click-through rate. If you do use add to cart, initiate checkout, even view content, you cannot use purchases or return on ad spend to gauge a split test. Even when you're using purchases, $25, $50 per ad set isn't much. So do not look at your return on ad spend or the amount of purchases to gauge the performance. Look at link click-through rate. So if you followed along and you do want to use a lower objective, let me show you how to do this. Let's just go ahead and hit duplicate on that new split test campaign that we built. We'll hit duplicate. And now, if you click on the first ad set, hold shift, and then click the last one, it'll allow you to select all of them. You can hit X on conversion event. Let's do add to cart. We'll publish. Let's give this a minute. All right. And then I'm going to delete the other one so I don't get confused. And I'm also going to label this one add to cart. So I know just quickly when looking at campaigns, it was tested with add to cart. Just brings a little bit more clarity when you're going through your ad account in the future. So let's flip this on. So I'm going to let this run for 24 hours. I'll gauge the results in the same way that I did as the other ones. And here is a split test that I actually ran yesterday. So you can see I ran this yesterday, and let's take a look at what performed. Look at that. So I swear I did not look at the results of the split test beforehand, but this was the short paragraph version. And you can see if we compare it to the baseline, look at the difference. This was our baseline at 3.3. This was the short paragraph. We removed the emojis, we shortened it up, and Facebook rewarded us with a higher link click-through rate. Facebook does say nowadays they recommend shorter ad copy. I have yet to decide if it's actually factual, if you do get better results with it, but based on this, what I'm going to do is I am going to use that shorter form here, just based on, what is that, a 70% increase in our link click-through rate. So split test your ads, take the winning combos. You can use this same process that we just did for ad copy and use it to test thumbnails, scroll stoppers, and so forth. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave a comment. And if you're interested in the tools that you saw in the video or any of the courses, such as how to set up the custom attribution to improve your tracking on Facebook ads, check out pondir.com, linked in the description. I'll also link the 6.5-hour Facebook ads course that I built for YouTube in the description. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.